Well. If it isn't my parents' house. Because, yes, unfortunately, we're recording at my parents' house again. And, but yeah, never mind that. This is a podcast called Politics. Although, I actually call it Politrix. And the title of this episode is Renfield. My name is Presh.
And I am Ty.
And I think we can just get into it.
Let's get into it.
I actually have something to say, which isn't like cleanup or like news, or I guess it's news.
Okay.
Something that's news to me, just something I found out.
Okay.
Not even found out, something I've been noticing.
Okay.
You know, like on YouTube.
Yes.
You have like football. Well, you have different, like you have like, you know, like Tifo football.
Yeah.
Which talks about the tactics.
Yeah.
And like, that's not opinion, that's, you know, they're analyzing an in-game kind of thing. But then, I've recently become aware of like opinion YouTubers.
Oh, yeah.
Right? About football. And they always title their videos, you know, like whatever title it is, like, Arsenal will bottle the Premier League title.
Yeah.
And then in brackets behind it, my honest reaction, or my honest response, or my honest, my true feelings, or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, the implication I'm taking away is that these guys are constantly lying. They're always like, just talking the most lies, and then just to specify when they are telling the truth, they put a
little honest tagline.
Yeah, my honest opinion. So, yes, I've been going around saying stuff, and then as I finish saying it, going, my honest opinion to people, they don't know what that means. Like, why did you? Is the implication that you've been lying this whole time? Yeah, but anyway, I just thought that was fun. I don't know where to start. I guess it's news because it's new to me.
Yeah.
But it's not notable in any way. Anyway, never mind. Let's just clean up from last week. So you spoke about some ship or whatever. I guess we'll get to it in the news. But I was trying to remember a name of a ship, and I just, like, I can't even remember what I pulled out. I think I said the Starship Enterprise.
Yes.
But before, I said the Black Pearl from
Yes.
from the Pirates of the Caribbean. But anyway, just as I was just going through the week, I realized, why didn't I say the Titanic?
Yeah.
It's the most famous ship. I'm a huge James Cameron fan. He's probably my number 2 guy behind George Lucas.
Yeah.
And I fumbled. I'm sorry to the listeners. Sorry to the Titanic Hive. You know, I know you guys hold me in good esteem, but I'm sorry I let you all down. Anyway, so last week I said The Social Network should have won Best Picture and lost the Oscar to The Artist. Well, I couldn't remember, and I just guessed The Artist, but it actually lost to The King's Speech, which, it's fine. It's like a 7 out of 10, but definitely not better than The Social Network. Okay. Anyway, have you seen either of these?
Nope.
Alright. Let's just move on. So, and well, both of these were in relation to Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
No, not the Titanic one, just this one and the one that's coming up, right? Yeah. Because the guy who wrote Steve Jobs also wrote The Social Network. That's the context we were speaking about. But anyway, it's not that important. I just thought I'd clear the record. Anyway, the second one is, I said that an orchestra could probably play without a conductor.
Yes.
So I googled, and small orchestras do play without a conductor.
Yes.
Right. The reason to have a conductor is that in like a very large orchestra, certain sections don't play for like minutes at a time, and it's hard to like keep count of their.
Yeah.
I don't know what the music you know, like their timing. Their timing of when they gotta start playing again. Yeah. So like I said, like this section might take 2 minutes off, and they might forget when it's their time. And you're thinking, well, why can't they just hear the music and, you know, just jump in? But it's because it's a very large orchestra over the stage, they may not be able to hear like other sides of the stage because there's so much noise.
Yes.
Right. So that's why you need a conductor who like say, all right, you guys get ready, you guys go. Right. Yeah. But this could easily be solved using like a computer, or like even like a few lights. Yeah. That like a red light goes on when the horn section are supposed to play, a blue goes on when the, you know, I don't know what the sections are. Alright, you caught me. I only knew, I said horns, right?
Yes.
I only know the horn. I don't know the rest of these. Percussion?
Percussion is one of them, yeah.
Is percussion and horn similar?
No.
No.
Not at all.
Alright, so I got 2.
Yeah.
The bass?
Well, you'd count them as part of the string section.
All right. The strings.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. All right. Never mind. This is not the trial of pressure, and I'm on trial for not knowing the different members of an orchestra. We're just in the cleanup from last week, right?
Yes.
But anyway, I thought. So it's a really funny that his metaphor of why he's the most important person in the world that he picked as an example that shows how insignificant he is, right? So once again, I don't know if Steve Jobs actually said that or that was just like Aaron Sorkin taking creative liberties, but either way, it was just that scene in the movie was so hilarious, and yeah. So that's all my cleanup. Do you have any cleanup?
No, not that I can think of.
Alright. You've never cleaned anything up?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
So listeners, he just loves to live in dirt. That's what I'm hearing. He hates being clean. But alright, let's just move on to the news then.
Alright.
Okay, so oh my god. It's so loud in here. We need can you get a remote and turn the volume down? It's too loud. And I can't even see my co-host because there's so much smoke in here. Alright, so this week was 420.
Oh. I was waiting to see where that would lead.
The weed day, right?
The weed day.
And I don't smoke marijuana myself, but I think how it's treated in this country and like in many countries around the world, it's totally wrong. And there's lots of other words, but wrong is the the easiest one. Yeah, inhumane. Alright, just wrong. That's the
okay.
So anyway, currently weed is decriminalized in South Africa. What does that mean?
It means you can have like up to a certain amount, and you can use it in your own private space.
Yes. So if you are caught like on weed, or you happen to have like a bag on you, like you won't go to jail. They might give you like a fine or something.
Yeah.
This happened in like 2018.
Yes.
It was decriminalized for private use.
Yeah.
Meaning like you're not allowed to buy or sell.
Yeah.
But you're allowed to smoke, which makes you wonder how do you get it. But yes, you're allowed to grow a small amount in your garden, or like similar. So if you grow it and you smoke it, you're not breaking any laws, right?
Yeah.
But I disagree with this, right? I believe in legalization.
Okay.
Essentially means it's treated in the same way like alcohol and tobacco is.
Yeah.
So like you have alcohol stores, you'll have like a weed store.
Yeah.
And then,
well, we do actually have weed stores. Like, the biggest example I can think of is Canarite. Vaporite's cannabis kind of division.
But is that a South African company?
Yeah. Well.
And is it legal?
I don't know if it's legal.
Yeah.
But they advertise it a lot in Vaporite stores. So I'm assuming it's somewhat legal. But it could be that that's like an online business or like registered in another country where the laws are that weed is legal. Yeah.
It could be. I have no idea, right? My point being that we don't have a place where that's in what you said, Canarite.
Canarite, yeah.
That I assume that's vapes that are on THC vapes, not like actual marijuana.
Yeah, I don't know if they sell actual marijuana,
Yes,
but I think I've seen edibles.
That's the point I'm trying to make here. That like with legalization, you would have like a weed store, where you can go and like go to a menu and see, okay, this, and then so it's bought and sold freely in shops. You can use it freely in private, and also use it at designated places in public.
Okay.
So like you have smoking areas for tobacco users. Like in restaurants, there's like windows and certain places are sectioned off, right? And similar, there's rules about alcohol. Like you can't just walk down the street and drink alcohol. It's you have to be in like a restaurant or like a club or something, like where alcohol is allowed to be sold. Yeah. Right. So there's still rules. It's not like it's Mad Mix. It's Mad Max. I don't know why I said Mad Mix. Sounding like an Australian would say Mad Max. Mad Mix. Yeah. This is not Mad Max where, like, you know, there's no rules and everyone's running mad wild. It's just, you know, there's still rules.
Yeah.
It's still managed in the same way that alcohol and tobacco is, but you're not allowed to use it or drive, or like similar instances that require focus and will result in like a dangerous situation without focus.
Yeah.
Right? And the long-term goal is for it to replace alcohol as like the go-to solution to de-stress. Because like, I've heard that like people after work, they'll have like a beer.
Yeah.
Or like a glass of wine or whatever, right?
Yeah.
To like de-stress after a long day. And just the medical like arguments I've heard or read have all said that marijuana is a better alternative to alcohol. So if it were legal and more widely available, it could be a better solution than alcohol.
It could be.
Right? I call this the common sense argument. Right? That weed is less destructive than alcohol.
Yeah.
But what if you don't give a shit?
Then I don't give a shit, I guess.
Alright, how about an economic argument?
Okay.
Right? The Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development estimate that the cannabis industry is worth an estimated 28 billion rand in South Africa and could create between 10,000 and 25,000 jobs across the sector. An economic argument alone isn't enough to unban or legalize something, right? But like, what if like murder became very profitable?
Then everyone would be murdering.
And then like you go to Parliament and you're like, well, it's very popular, so and we could make money from it, so you know.
So why not?
Yeah. The reason why I'm saying this is because coupled with the common sense argument, that's why I'm agreeing to it. If it was only an economic argument, I wouldn't agree to it, right? Because just because something makes money doesn't mean that it's a good thing, or like there'll be long-term good effects of it. So alright, do you have anything to say about the weed day?
No, not really. I mean, I think we've covered all the best arguments, I guess, for it. But because I'm not against it, I can't really argue against it.
Alright, sure.
Yeah.
But what about the devil's advocate?
Even then, I don't know what to say because you've put forward some compelling points.
Alright, well, people would say, well, like similar to condoms, right? You know, when you put out condoms, the idea is to have safe sex.
Yes.
But that will tell people who don't know about sex, right? In the same way, people say, well, if you legalize weed, it would become more like people who didn't know about it would find out about it.
Yeah.
As opposed to like if it were still illegal.
Yeah.
Right? And they could smoke it, they could get hooked onto it, they could become addicted. I would like to point you to the case study of Portugal.
Okay. Yes.
So look, they didn't legalize it in the way that I'm calling for with weed, right?
Yes.
What they did was they decriminalized it, so like how we have weed now.
Yes.
But we're not just weed, with all drugs.
Yes.
So heroin, they were having like a very hectic heroin epidemic, right? And it also coincided with like a big HIV and AIDS epidemic.
Yeah.
So what was happening was they were sharing needles.
Yeah.
And they were obviously sharing the AIDS because the
needles.
So what Portugal did was one of the many things they did, right, was they started a clean needle program.
Okay.
So if you have a dirty needle, you bring it into a clinic. Okay. They'll give you a clean one. They'll give you like cotton. They'll give you like
everything you need.
Everything you need. Like they're like, all right, you can do your drugs as long as you're not swapping needles and getting people killed.
Yeah.
Like so they treated drug addiction as a health issue instead of like, I don't know, people to be shamed or like a criminal issue.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing drugs, we send you to jail.
Yeah.
Because there's no there's no proper rehabilitation program.
Yeah.
It's all like some people, I guess, they find like God or they turn to religion and they stop doing drugs, but it's not like a proper plan.
Yeah.
What if you don't do that? Like you know.
That's it. Yeah.
So Portugal, they introduced a number of
measures.
Like you go there to a doctor's office, and instead of being thrown in jail for being on drugs, a counselor will be there who'll speak to you and say, hey, why are you doing this? And you might say like, oh, there's troubles in my life, and they could help you solve that issue so you're not.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if they wean you off the drugs, you'll still be in a shitty situation in your life.
Yeah.
So you need to both change the fact that you're addicted and the situation, so that when you go back to the situation, you don't become like depressed again and try drugs to kind of take your mind off that situation, right? So if you look at it as a holistic thing, it's much better to, for treating addiction, for kind of getting it out there, if things were like out in the open.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the phrase like wounds need air to heal?
Yes.
Or like something like that, right? Like you can't solve an issue if it's in the dark. You need to bring it out into the light so everyone can see the issue.
Yes.
It's similarly that's how I feel.
Okay.
Not just weed, just like all drugs should be treated and decriminalized so that there's not a stigma towards it.
Yeah.
And I would encourage our listeners to read up on this in case I've made like a wrong argument here, and they want to disagree or whatever. Let me know.
Leave an argument in the comments.
Anyway, next part of news, right? So last week we spoke about the Warner Brothers newly renamed streaming service Max.
Yes.
So they have greenlit a new adaptation of the Harry Potter series.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I only bring this up to say that we will never cover that on the show.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
We spoke about this on the Avatar episode, but my line for a boycott is harm.
Yes.
And we mentioned her on that episode, but J.K. Rowling is a bigot who uses her platform, her money, her status,
her everything she can,
to harass and demean trans people, right?
Yes.
And again, using her status to encourage her allies to also demean and harass trans people.
Yes.
Right? She's a very rich and powerful person, so this is she's a huge scumbag, right? I find her repulsive, and we will definitely be boycotting this.
100%.
Well, I'm only speaking for myself.
I agree with you. 100%.
I could be away for the weekend, and you decide to cover it as a major backstab against the trans community, but I won't be here, so that's not on my conscience, that's on your conscience. But definitely when I'm here, we're not going to do it.
When I feel like if you're away for a weekend, I'm just going to have
Kaleidoscope.
Yeah, Kaleidoscope. It's very likely going to be Kaleidoscope.
You son of a bitch. I can never take away. Let's just become the Kaleidoscope hour. The Kaleidoscope power hour. Right. Anyway, the next story is this week. Twitter took away the legacy blue checks.
Yes.
Right. Only people paying the whatever. So for Android it's $8, for iOS it's $11 to offset the 30% the iStore takes from apps.
Yeah.
Right. And so the only people paying now will have the blue check.
Yeah.
Which is just, we were speaking about last week about what a dipshit Steve Jobs is.
Yeah.
Just another example of what an idiot this guy is, right? It's so the blue check was introduced to make sure there was no fraud.
Yes.
So say I get a message from, I don't know, who's a celebrity I like?
Taylor Swift.
I don't have strong feelings about her either way.
Bernie Sanders.
No. Roberto De Zerbi sends me a message, right?
Okay.
He's like, Presh, send me €100. I will become the new manager of Liverpool. I'm like, here's 100,000 euros. Please come to my club, sir. Right? And it turns out that wasn't him. That was a fake. Right? He's not responsible. He has nothing to do with this. De Zerbi, I'm speaking about.
Yes.
Not Musk. De Zerbi, the fact that I fell for, a trick or a scam, it has nothing to do with him. Even though they used his name in the scam.
Yes.
Right? So the check mark wasn't for the person itself in this example, De Zerbi, right? It was for the general public so that they won't get confused.
Yes.
The actual person being verified gets no
there's no incentive.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So it was something like a net gain of 248 accounts got Twitter Blue after the legacy status was taken away.
I believe I read 28.
28?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, we can just go to that, but okay, I'll search for that while
I do my
your news. But okay. I just wanted to say, so you know what I said about verification is about, so we as the public know that's the person.
Yes.
So what I'm seeing from a lot of like right wingers and like Elon simps that they like, well, the blue check conferred like special privileges or like made your voice more
pronounced, heard.
I don't know, like Twitter was endorsing this person by giving them the blue check.
Yeah.
I've never felt that way, right?
Yeah.
And I've heard all of them say this now. So what I want to know is, are they saying this like post hoc, like Elon Musk said, oh, I'm giving power to the people, and now they've retroactively been like, oh yeah, this is what we wanted, right? We wanted the blue check and special privileges to be taken away from celebrities, or did they always feel this way? And like he was like tapped in, and he's like, oh, people feel this way, that's why we need to take away the blue check. And but I strongly feel it's the former.
Yeah.
Like nobody really cared. Everyone just assumed that the blue check meant that's the person who was tweeting, and then now after the fact, because this dipshit has said so, they've all amended their stories to like be like, oh, this is what this was always about.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough to say, because it's like, what's it called? Schrodinger's douchebag or something.
Yes. Schrodinger's joke. Well, you make a joke and you wait to see if people respond negatively or positively.
Yeah.
If it was negative, it was just a joke.
Yeah.
Positive, I was being serious. Yeah. That's a true point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that this is it's kind of stripping away the notion that the rich are smarter, or they have access to like some sort of information the rest of us. It's like, no, it's either just like luck, or like they inherited a bunch of money and like.
Okay. Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
It was on the topic of money, but it's fine. I'll get to that later. It's kind of part of this, but it's.
Alright, well, you can get into your news.
Yeah, okay. So, when was it? It was Wednesday, I believe. On 420, actually. As Elon Musk predicted 3 years ago or something.
What do you mean he predicted it?
Well, he didn't predict it, but he said... So, you know how he owns SpaceX?
Yes.
So he... well, he might be the CEO or something. But anyway,
he is.
Right? Yeah. So he'll tweet something, and then it'll be about SpaceX. So then he gives like a timeline. But usually everything works on Elon time, which is like he'll say something, and then 2 or 3 months down the line, that thing will then happen. So like after he's predicted it, I think the average is like 3.8 times later. Can
you give me some examples?
So I believe he said, you can't, well, I'm basing it off memory here, because I don't exactly remember if it's true. But he said something like, the first Starship hop, so that was, I think, Ship 6 or Ship 7, would hop in like 3 months, and then it ended up being 6 months later that it actually hopped.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Is this something he was working on, or is it just a general prediction he made about the market and then it came true?
No, this is something he works on. So he sets the deadlines.
Okay.
And then, so like he'll say something. So, like for example, this Starship launch was, he originally in like, I don't know, I think it was December or something, said we're planning to launch it on 420. Right. and then they got everything ready, and it was already on the 17th, and then there was a delay, suspiciously. So there's a conspiracy theory that he delayed it so that it could then launch on 420. But then, yeah, it came to 420, and they launched it. And people are a bit split about whether it was a successful launch, because the rocket exploded.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've been waiting for you to mention. You've been talking a lot of bullshit, but I'm like, the rocket fucking exploded, bro. When are you gonna mention that? Alright.
So, like a lot of Elon stans and SpaceX fans and that kind of stuff have been saying, oh, but this test was a resounding success because they got a bunch of data from the time that it launched to the 3 minutes and a bit after when it exploded. So they can then use that data to improve on the next Starship. Right. But the general public are saying, this rocket exploded. How is that a success at all? Because you're wasting, I don't know, I think the figure's like $1 billion or something.
The figure I read was this rocket cost $3 billion.
$3 billion. Fair enough. Yeah. You're wasting $3 billion on this rocket.
So my point of view, my honest reaction.
Yeah.
I don't care how you try to spin it. If you blow up a $3 billion rocket, that's a failure, bro. I don't give a shit if you got good information. You blow up a $3 billion rocket, and like, if it flew, it went like did a loop around the sun, and like came back, and just as it was landing, it blew up. I'd be like, all right, fair enough. That was a successful mission. This, like 4 minutes into the air, blew up. That's not a success. And like, I saw this tweet where like this Elon tweeted something about like how the engines are gonna work, whatever.
Yeah.
And like a engineer replied to him like, that's not gonna work because this.
Yeah.
And all those things came true with this rocket launch. Obviously.
Rocket launch.
Obviously that's not my area of expertise, so I can't verify, but from what I've read, that's precisely this random guy on Twitter. His predictions all came true because he could see this guy's a dipshit.
Yeah.
Anyway, now the reason I said in the cleanup that I should have called it the Titanic was this is the biggest rocket ship, right?
Yes.
So it's the biggest rocket ship on its maiden voyage. Fucking blow up. I should have called it if I had the fucking common sense to call it the Titanic last week, this would have been a slam dunk follow up, but unfortunately
it would have been perfect. But yeah, so I think probably the biggest thing for space nerds right now is that they also blew up the launch pad. So even though they have another ship,
they can't use it.
Yeah, they can't use it as a blow up the launch
pad. Alright. Anyway, carry on.
So that's they say it's, I think, 2 to 4 months Elon time. So like realistically in the next 6 to 8 months or so
they'll do another launch.
There should be another launch.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well,
the next part of my news is once again a PSA that the SANBS needs blood. So to my South African, to our South African listeners.
No, they're all yours.
All my South African listeners.
Well, we established like in the Patreon that I'm like a bad cop, you're a good cop.
Yeah.
So all the listeners, they love you. I'm just, I'm a bad boy against the law. I'm like
you take bribes.
No.
What? Bad cop.
No, all the cops are taking bribes. I'm the I'm the bad cop who doesn't take bribes. But I was gonna say Clint Eastwood in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but I don't think he's a policeman in that. Anyway, carry on. I've never watched that. I should watch that.
Yeah, it's just go donate blood. That's the...
Good.
Yeah.
Unless this is like a front corporation created by Dracula. Just harvesting blood. Alright.
The best segue ever.
Yes, which leads into the context for this week's episode, which is about Renfield, right? The context being that, so like in the 1930s and between the 1930s and 50s, Universal made a bunch of horror movies they later dubbed the Universal Classic Monsters.
Right.
Right? They weren't initially conceived as being like a franchise, like the same way as the MCU.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, we made a Dracula movie. Oh, we made a Frankenstein movie.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't we cross them over? That would be cool. Well, because they were very popular, right?
Yeah.
And this started the first cinematic universe 77 years before Iron Man.
Wow.
And the Marvel one, right? Well, there have been a few cinematic universes before Marvel. It's just, this is the popular one of our time, so that's why, people, I don't know, try to copy it and such.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the first movie in that Universal Classic horror movie, or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
Was 1931's Dracula.
Huh.
Played by Bela Lugosi.
Okay.
And this movie is a sequel to that.
Right.
We even see, like in the beginning section of the movie, we see Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult, their faces CGI'd over the the characters in the 1931 movie. And also, by the way, we'll be covering the 1931 movie on our Patreon this week as the commentary.
Yeah.
The original plan was to do the
Unbearable Weight of
Massive Talent, right? Which is a Nicolas Cage movie that came out last year, also from Universal, which I really enjoyed, but didn't get any, that was a huge flop.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, so is Renfield. Right? It's I don't think it's made its money back.
Okay.
It's not looking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I went to watch The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, I was in an empty theater.
Yeah.
And when I went to watch Renfield this week, there was one person. But that person was having a great time, bro. The way they were laughing. They were laughing much louder than me, and I was laughing quite loud. But, the two of us, we had a grand time. Anyway, so the second part of this context is, in recent years, there have been several attempts at restarting the Universal Classic Monster universe,
Right.
in response to the popularity of the Marvel movies, called the Dark Universe.
Okay.
It started with Dracula Untold.
Yeah.
Do you remember that movie? It came out in like 2014.
Yeah, I heard of it, but it never caught my fancy.
Right, so two of my
Caught
friends,
my interest. Yeah.
they swear by it.
Okay.
They love Dracula Untold.
Okay.
But it's honestly a rubbish movie. No offense to them. Right. But, I don't know why you're laughing like that. But yeah. So Universal Universal discarded it, right?
Okay.
And decided to start fresh because like I said, wasn't very well received. I'm not sure about the box office, like if it made enough to warrant continuation. But so they were like, alright, let's just start fresh. And in 2017 they created The Mummy starring Tom Cruise.
Yes.
And I'd never watched that movie. As I believe it, Sofia Boutella is the mummy.
Yes.
And the implication is at the end of the movie, she's kind of passed on the mummy curse to him.
Yeah.
So he's the new mummy.
Yes.
Again, I've never seen it. I
don't know.
Literally have no idea. This could be the opposite of the plot. Maybe he was the mummy and he gave it to her.
Who knows?
Who knows, bro? Who knows?
Well,
but
probably
anyway,
people that watch The Mummy.
not a lot, because so anyway, a number of high-profile casting announcements were made in the run-up to The Mummy coming out, right? So Sofia Boutella, like I said, was the titular mummy in the movie.
Yes.
Tom Cruise was the star of this movie, but he plays like a character named like Nick Turner or something, just like a
just generic
name. It's not like Van Helsing or like like a regular person that you know. It's just like a regular person you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, maybe Nick Morton.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Right. Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
I think he must be playing twin characters. Why would he play two characters? A Dr. Jekyll and a Mr. Hyde. It seems very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it must be some sort of like twin situation.
Yeah.
Or like a clone.
Ooh. Cloning back in the day. That would have been
very strange why you would play two characters. But anyway, let's just move on, right? Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
Javier Bardem as Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
And they were apparently trying to get Angelina Jolie as the Bride of Frankenstein.
Damn.
Right? So they were going for like big names.
Huge names.
And they would attach it to one of their Universal monsters and they would, sell it on that. They... Maybe, like a few weeks ago, we were talking about the DC universe flopping.
Yeah.
The Snyderverse flopping.
Yeah.
Somehow, an even bigger flop. Before The Mummy came out, they put out this publicity photo of Tom Cruise, Russell Crowe, Javier Bardem, Sofia Boutella, and Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
As all, not in costume as their thing, just like in like suits or whatever. And that went out, I think, in Vanity Fair, maybe?
Yeah. Or
some, big publication. And after The Mummy failed, all those movies were cancelled. We never saw any of them. The Mummy was both a critical and commercial flop.
Okay.
Again, I don't have the numbers in front of me. Just know that it was so bad they scrapped the entire not catalog, the slate of upcoming movies because it was so bad. Yeah. Anyway, so they abandoned the idea of a dark universe, of doing a cinematic universe, and started just focusing on standalone films.
Yeah.
Not the first one, but like a good example is 2020's The Invisible Man. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
You have?
That I have.
That's a shock.
Why?
Listeners, he's asking me why. He's asking me why, listeners.
I am asking you why.
So if I said the words, you failed, Your Highness. I'm a Jedi, like my father before me. What movie is that from?
It's one of the Star Wars ones.
Which one? He doesn't know, listeners. He does.
Menace.
It was in Return of the Jedi.
What,
Look at this fucking fraud. We caught him. The police, let the police come out from behind the walls. We caught him. He admitted it on tape. He doesn't know Return of the Jedi. Anyway. Oh, fuck, where am I? You see, you made me so angry. Yes, so you've seen The Invisible Man.
Yes.
Which is like a modern retelling of The Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, he uses like technology to become invisible. It's not like a weird like
just random monster
situation. No. Like he has a mixture, what's that called? A concoction. Like
he makes a little potion thing.
A potion! That's fuck. Yeah, why don't you say potion before?
I did say potion.
Whatever.
Okay.
He makes a little potion and drinks it.
Yes.
And he turns invisible.
Yes.
Now this is a technological suit that like I think maybe reflects.
Yeah.
It like takes what's behind you and puts it
in front of you.
Yeah, yes. So it looks like the person is looking through you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, modern retellings of these classic tales.
I honestly would have preferred the original.
The potion.
Yeah.
You don't like technology?
No, well, not this specific, because it just seems like anyone can do it. It's not really like a...
Well, he invented it.
Yeah.
He made the suit.
Yeah, but you could do it, probably.
Anybody could take the Invisible Man potion too.
Yeah. But it just seems more like fantastical to have a potion.
It's not fantastical to make a suit that turns you invisible.
Because you could just like put a camera on your back and have some screens in front of you.
Alright, well that was actually one of the Mission Impossibles. They did that.
Yeah, see?
Tom Cruise like unrolled this like big screen.
Yeah. And
he was like running up to somebody, but he had the screen in front of him, which was taking a picture.
Yeah.
And they were inside like the Kremlin, I think.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We're way off topic. You know what I was saying? We need to keep it short. Let me check the time. 40 minutes. We haven't even started.
Okay.
We haven't. You need to get serious.
Okay,
this is you.
Okay.
Derailing me.
Let's go.
And making me angry. Anyway, right. So, The Invisible Man, and now the topic of today's show, Renfield.
Yes.
Yes.
Renfield.
Do you want to say anything before we start?
Before we start? No. I think I'll leave my observations until later.
Alright, so first of all, I felt like the effects were like hit or miss.
Yeah.
You know, very early on we see him, or Dracula, with like a half head.
Yeah.
Or like a half face.
Yeah.
You know, because he was burnt badly.
Yeah.
That effect was beautiful.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how good that looked. Like, I was just like, oh shit, this is amazing. Right? But then, you know, like later on in the movies when they fighting the gang, and like you're seeing people's bodies explode.
Yeah.
I felt that that effect felt like very cheap.
It was very kind of like, how do I describe it? Was like, it wasn't, okay, I don't want to say it wasn't realistic, but it wasn't like actual blood.
Like I said, it looked cheap.
Yeah.
Right? Although, like, I liked the effect. I thought it was, because this is a comedy, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff, like that blowing up, a body just blowing up and turning into like blood, like I enjoyed that. It's just the way it looked was very cheap. So that's why I was like, if they could have spent a little bit more money on this, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we skipped over this, but this is back in the context, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I was saying, I was giving you like the rundown of Universal.
Yeah.
So, like, in recent years, what I've noticed is that Universal is, like, really going to, like, top talents and like, giving them contracts.
Right.
So, do you know what A24 is?
I've heard of it.
So, it's a distribution company.
Yeah.
And their catalogue of films are excellent.
Okay.
Their film, Everything Everywhere All at Once, won Best Picture last year.
Yes.
It's, in the independent movie world, they are, like, very well regarded.
Right. Okay.
I don't regard them well. Because, well, I agree that their choice of movies is very good.
Okay.
But they're very bad at distributing.
Okay.
A distribution company that can't distribute, you know. It's dramatic irony.
Yeah.
That's how my grade 7 teacher explained the phrase. Like, if a fireman's house burns down, or, you know, like, a policeman gets robbed. It's like the person you wouldn't think it would happen to, it happens to.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway. But yes, so A24 is very good at identifying talent.
Yeah.
And I found that Universal has been basically using their talent ID and like offering, you know, directors.
Yeah.
Like, so Universal is a major studio, whereas A24 is an independent.
Yes.
And it's just a distributor. It's not funding the movie. It's just once the movie is made, they get it and they, you know, distribute it.
Yeah.
So Universal has been like contacting. So do you know who Robert Eggers is? We mentioned him a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
He made The Witch, The Lighthouse, and The Northman.
Yeah.
3 excellent movies. Nothing less than a 9 out of 10. Bobby Eggs is my you know, what's a new person, like a modern, my favorite modern filmmaker.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
He only started in like 2015, so that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
My favorite filmmaker that started in the 2010s.
Okay.
That's
got you.
Do you understand now?
I understand.
Right. So they got him. They got Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
He made Get Out.
Yeah.
He made Us, and he made Nope.
Yeah.
So Get Out, I think, was with an independent studio.
Yeah.
And then Us and Nope were both with Universal.
Okay.
For Robert Eggers, The Northman was at Universal. The previous two were
with independent
studios.
Yes.
So, but my point being, I've recently found that Universal have been very good about finding, you know, good talents and giving them more money than they would have at a independent to see what they could do in a bigger project.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they're very bad at like marketing.
Yeah.
Similarly, that's how I feel about this Renfield. I feel like Nicolas Cage is really at the top of his game.
Yeah.
He, I don't know how many movies you watch, but these last few years he's put out some of his best work.
Okay.
Have you seen Pig?
Sorry, what?
Pig.
No.
Alright. Pig has been his best performance in a movie since maybe Leaving Las Vegas, when he won the... Actually, I don't know if he won the Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas. Maybe that was Elizabeth Shue, but it doesn't matter, right?
Right.
Pig is some of the best work he's ever done in his career.
Okay.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah.
I think he was like the executive producer and like the driving force behind that movie.
Yeah.
Excellent movie. So like you can see, Universal have kind of hitched their wagon to him.
Yeah.
And like other great creators.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying that. It's just that all these movies flop.
Yeah.
It's Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent flop. Renfield flop. The Northman flopped. Nope. Didn't really flop, but it was
not great.
It didn't do the numbers we assumed it would. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So Universal, like I said, I like that they finding talent, giving them money, but it's just that extra step of connecting with the audience that's not happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just context. We should get back to this.
All right. Okay.
Right. So yeah, on the whole, I enjoyed the effects. There's just like a few shots, like like that cheap looking blowing up that just left a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Yourself.
Yeah. Just in general, or specifically about?
I don't know. Whatever. You have notes, listeners. Every week I look over at his little book. There's notes, and he never says a goddamn thing. But all right, he'll just tell me about some spaceship.
So
4 pages of notes about a spaceship. But,
well, no, I'm gonna go on.
All right.
I really enjoyed the music. Like, I found the soundtrack to be really enjoyable. Like, you know how last week we were talking about Mario and how nothing fit?
Yes.
I think this...
much better.
In Renfield, all the music was really on point for whatever they were doing at the time. Yeah. Quite like that.
Alright.
Yeah.
And, so that's why I added the context, right?
Yeah.
I really felt like the acting from the three leads, Nicholas Hoult, Nicolas Cage, and Awkwafina, were all excellent.
Yeah.
It's just like Nicholas Hoult's British accent kind of threw me off. I don't think he has a British accent in the X-Men movies.
I have no idea, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. I can't remember, bro. The last one I saw was Dark Phoenix? No. The New Mutants, maybe.
Ooh.
You don't know what any of those are. But yeah, I haven't seen X-Men movies in many years. Yeah. At least 4 years since I've seen one with Nicholas Hoult. So
okay.
Yeah. I just swear to God, he was doing an American accent, and this English accent sounds bizarre.
Really?
This, and he was in The Menu last year.
Yeah.
He was in Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
Where he says, "Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!"
Yes.
Yes. Yes, that's like, I don't know what accent that is, but it's much more appealing than the British one he's doing in this movie. Anyway, it just sounded bizarre, right? The other actors, like, the support group and like the gang, all of those I could take or leave. Do you know John Ralphio?
No.
Okay, he's the son of the gangsters.
Oh, right, okay.
What's he called?
Oh.
What's his name?
Who,
Teddy Lobo.
Isn't Teddy Lobo Ben Schwartz?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Anyway, so this guy played John Ralphio on Parks and Rec.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, he was like my favorite character on Parks and Rec.
Okay.
So him and Tom.
Yeah.
Do you know Tom? Have you ever seen Parks and Rec?
No.
Oh my God. In the short lifespan of the show, I've slammed Parks and Rec at least twice.
Okay.
One for Louis C.K., convicted pedophile. Sorry. He's not a convicted pedophile. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
That's a mistake. I made a mistake.
We're about to get sued.
He's just not a good guy, right?
Okay.
He unconsensually jacked off in front of people.
Oh.
Very gross guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mentioned that because he didn't like Avatar, so...
Okay. Makes sense.
Yes, that's why.
I'm connecting the dots here. Yes.
Anyway, there was something else I slammed Parks and Rec for. It doesn't matter. We were wasting so much time.
Yes, okay.
Right? But the point being, John Ralphio was my favorite character on that show.
Okay.
Played by Ben Schwartz.
Yes.
And Tom played by Aziz Ansari.
Yeah.
Right? And pretty much everything I've seen Ben Schwartz in after that, I haven't liked it.
Really?
I'm trying to think now, right? What else has he been in?
He was in Space Force.
Yeah, I don't like him there.
Really? Okay.
He's just like a background character. He's not even like...
Yeah, he's just...
But John Ralphio was a background character, and he's like my favorite guy.
He's always like these kind of backgroundy characters.
Yeah, that's why like him getting so much screen time in this movie, I think, was a mistake.
Really?
Yes, I think he's again used in very small segments.
Yeah.
He was just like, I found him very cringe in this movie.
I think he's very good at playing unlikable characters.
Sure.
And so he, like, okay, yeah, he did get a lot of screen time, but
Well, but this is the thing. I think you're just like an asshole, not an evil person.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's how I prefer my Ben Schwartz.
Okay.
I go to the coffee cart and I say, listen, when you're making my Ben Schwartz, don't tip the evil syrup in. Just put the asshole syrup in, bro. Yeah. Him being like evil and like killing people, that like that little part didn't like work well. Because like he's very like comedic and like very like you know, dramatic. So like when something hectic is happening, he seems like that it's tonally very off.
Yeah.
You know, when something hectic happens.
Because I feel like in the first half, he's kind of that. I don't want to say he's the comic relief because there's a lot of different comedic elements, but he's just kind of there making stupid things happen so that they can get a cheap laugh. But then he has that meeting with his mother and. The tone kind of switches, and then he tries to be this badass, but he doesn't really pull it off all that well.
All right.
But that's just my take.
Okay, so I really enjoyed the comedy in this movie.
Me too. Yeah.
So
the comedic timing.
Yes. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people online say that they didn't like it, and they compared it negatively to What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
So it's both a TV show and a movie.
Okay.
They made a movie and then they made a spin-off TV show about it.
Okay.
So I've only seen the movie, I've never seen the TV show.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, people are comparing it negatively towards the TV show. So I can't, like, comment on that.
Yeah.
Probably because I've never seen that show, I'm not, like, you know, like, used to, like, vampire jokes. So maybe because you've been watching vampire jokes for, like, however many years that show's been going on, you're used to it, so like this seems like overused and like overwrought now that you're watching this movie.
Yeah.
But to me, like it didn't matter. I enjoyed the like I didn't enjoy the running jokes.
Okay.
The jokes in the moment were funny, but the running jokes, the first running joke was the one about ska music.
Yeah.
They're like, her boyfriend is obsessed with ska and like it's rubbing off on her.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really enjoy that. That's like, again, I don't know how many movies you watch, but that's something from like the mid 2000s. People would be like, ska is underrated, man. This is fucked up what you're doing. You know, you're treating us very poorly.
Yeah.
It's like that era has been long gone.
Yeah.
Children have been born and grew up in that time, bro. It's over. That and the other one, you know, when they're like, shut the fuck up, Kyle.
I enjoyed that so much.
Fair enough. But for me, every time they did that, I just felt it was very like telegraphed. Like, oh, I can see what you're setting up for here. It, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah?
So the next thing is I really enjoyed the action in the movie.
Yes.
So it's clearly like heightened and over the top. Well, obviously because people are blowing up, right? But you know, like that adds to the comedy of in the vein of like a Buster Keaton or like a Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Where they use their physical. It's physical comedy.
Yes.
Or like the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
The action was the comedy, not because they were also just jokes, but like the action added a lot to the comedy in this movie. That's what I felt. Right? So like it's obviously not choreographed as well as the John Wick movies.
Yeah.
Right. Which we've been watching these past couple of weeks, which we keep going back to as like, well, at least from the things we've covered, the high benchmark for action in movies.
Yeah.
Right? And but like I understand it wasn't, choreographed as well, but it was good for conveying the comedy.
Yeah.
So it did what it needed to do.
Yeah.
That's what it's functional action.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
None of the action, like, well, it's not necessarily action, but like there's one where Dracula shows up, he throws Nicholas Hoult, and then he kills all the support group.
Yeah.
I thought that was great, but the only thing is that shot of Nicholas Hoult like flying through the air.
He flew for so long.
Obviously, he's moving in slow motion, but I mean, just the way that shot looked, I thought was very cheap.
Yeah.
We were speaking about CGI earlier, or like effects. That shot, I think, was kind of hit or miss, right?
Yeah.
But for the most part, just the action.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
You were gonna say something before I steamrolled over you.
I was gonna say, like in one of the very first bits of the movie, I think it might even be in the first scene where Dracula's trapped by the, I don't know, I think they're priests or something.
The summoning circle.
Yeah, in the summoning circle, and then he throws his shoe through, and Dracula kills that guy, and then we just hear, fuck. And that made me burst out laughing. That was like, that set the kind of tone and the idea that I was going to be laughing throughout this movie.
Yeah. So anyway, where I feel that this movie falls down is with the plot.
Okay.
So it feels like the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which my co-host has neither seen nor who knows who that is. Right? Do you know who Obi-Wan Kenobi is?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I did show you A New Hope. Yes. So you met Old Ben, but you don't know Ewan McGregor. Right? So the TV show was with Ewan McGregor, right?
Yes.
And it felt like they had enough material for a movie.
Yes.
But they needed to pad it out.
Okay.
To make it a series. So they introduced this other plot with like these people who hunt down Jedi.
Okay.
They're called Inquisitors.
Yes.
And the two plots didn't like mesh well at all.
Okay.
And it felt like, well, why don't you just separate these two things?
Yeah.
In the same way, I just felt like, I just think it's very interesting, this plot of Renfield, learning to stop being codependent to Dracula and breaking away from him.
Yeah.
Sorry. So him seeking therapy to escape Dracula's narcissism.
Yeah.
Right. That wasn't enough, so they had to add in this Awkwafina, like the cop hunting, and like the gang plot, right? To like pad it out.
Yeah.
And I just felt like those things didn't mix well.
Yeah.
Like I know they tried, but it just, I think if they just focused on that therapy segment, that would have been but the only thing is it would have been very short. This movie on its own is very short. It's like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Maybe less. I think an hour and 20.
Yeah.
But whatever. The point being, they realized that they didn't have enough material.
Yeah.
So they added the secondary plot.
Yeah.
I felt they could have done a TV show.
Yeah.
But unlike Obi-Wan, which was a narrative show, do a segment.
Okay.
No, not a segment. It's called an anthology.
Yeah.
But okay, fuck. Do you know like True Detective?
Yes.
That's an anthology season.
Yeah.
So every season takes place in a new setting.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about an anthology per episode, right?
Yeah.
Every episode is in a different setting.
Yes.
So in this one episode we see
Atlanta. Is it Atlanta?
No.
Okay.
Have you seen Atlanta?
Well, I've seen one episode.
Alright. I should RKO you through the thing over there. But anyway.
Okay, anyway.
Yes. Yeah. Where they do like standalone episodes, one episode is about Renfield.
Yes.
One episode is about like the Wolfman. One episode is about the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Love,
right?
Death and Robot style.
Yes, that's an anthology where every episode is set in a different... Yes, right?
Yes.
So, this Renfield could have been a 45-minute episode.
Yeah.
I really feel that. This could have been a tight 45-minute, very interesting...
Yeah.
He learns to have self-respect and, fight back against his boss through, like, the people he's met at therapy.
Yeah.
This entire, like, Awkwafina thing, and not I'm saying her name, like, she's the one responsible.
Yeah.
Her and, like, the gang and, like, that whole shit could have been easily cut out. There was no need for it.
Yeah. But then, I don't know if the whole thing would have still happened. Because the whole support group thing then leads him to killing that, what's her name? The lady's boyfriend, right? And that sets up the movie.
Yeah, but you can just have done it another way.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, look, it's a 1 hour episode of TV, right?
Yeah.
We first see Renfield. He goes to a support group. He listens to their stories, and then we find out that he's been going after, the partners of these people who are, mistreating them.
Yeah.
And he takes them back to Dracula, and you find out Dracula's been mistreating him.
Yeah.
And he goes back to therapy, like,
he works on it.
He works on it. He grapples with, he sees how other people's relationships parallel his with Dracula.
Yeah.
So and then he tries to break free. Yeah. Dracula comes after him, kills all his friends, right?
Yeah.
He uses that as a
motive.
A spark.
Okay.
A spark to gain his self-confidence.
Yeah.
He fights Dracula. How this movie ended, they cut him up, they whatever, right?
Yeah.
That would have been a much cleaner, tighter movie. There was absolutely no need for the Awkwafina character could have just been somebody that he met.
Yeah.
In the group.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There's a much cleaner, tighter movie that cuts the cop gang stuff completely out, and it preserves the concept, and could have done more interesting things, in that framework. But adding the secondary plot, which again, that's all the stuff I didn't like.
Yeah.
Right. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Next thing.
There's a lot of cliches in that Awkwafina plot.
Sure. Yes.
Like the whole
everyone's
cop
corrupt.
Cliches. Yeah.
Everyone's corrupt. She can only trust. Her father died.
Yeah. Her father was in the police force, and then he died.
Her father was the only clean cop,
Yeah.
and then he died, and she is now the only clean cop.
Yes.
And she has to get revenge.
Yes.
Not only on the person who did it, the gangster who did it, and the other cops that helped, make it happen.
Yeah.
So like you said, very cliche. I agree. So like I said, I think the basis of the story is incredibly interesting, right?
Yeah.
Taking a 19th century relationship and interpreting it within today's society.
Yeah.
So in sociology, codependency is a theory that attempts to explain imbalanced relationships where one person enables another person's self-destructive behavior, such as addiction, poor mental health, immaturity, irresponsibility, or underachievement. So in the case of this movie, it's Dracula's narcissism.
Yes.
Right, and this is the framework which Renfield finds self-respect.
Yeah.
Right. So again, this is the core of the movie. This is the interesting, but I really felt like if they doubled down on this section of the story, they could have done something wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably could have. Yeah.
The plot, going into this cops and robbers thing, just it derails it, and well, I feel like I've said this a few times now, so let's just move on. Right. On the whole, I've thought it found a good mix of camp and terror, and I really enjoyed this movie. Right. Yeah. I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's currently my favorite movie of 2023.
Okay. I don't know about the terror.
Alright.
Yeah, but maybe that's just me. But
well, his teeth were fucked up.
Yeah.
His teeth upset me. Every time he smiled, he's about to, take someone's head off. I'm like, oh, Drac, please, Drac. No. I think I'd be able to, have a nice conversation with Dracula.
And say, please don't eat me.
Yeah. And it'll work.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I have my methods. I don't want to say it on mic in case...
Dracula's listening.
Well, that and other people steal my method, and then so then Dracula finds somebody, they use my method. Now, then he finds a way to combat the method. Then when he gets to me, my method is ineffective because he's already found a way around it. Right? Is that what you want for me, listeners? Do you want me to be caught unawares by Dracula? Alright. That's all I'm saying.
Alright.
Any other thoughts before we end here?
No, I think I think we got through everything. Yeah. Yeah. As far as my notes go, yeah, that was pretty much everything.
Alright. So roughly an hour and 5 minutes.
Alright.
So we just have recommendations.
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
So yeah, I've recently been watching this show. I think it might be a game changer.
Oh, that's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. It's called Kaleidoscope.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, and so every episode has a certain color, and depending on the order you watch them in, the kind of the way you perceive the plot changes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That does sound like a game changer.
Yeah.
If anyone watched it, which
nobody has.
So, but you're doing the good work out here. You're putting the word out that the show exists. And what's it called again? I keep forgetting.
Kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
I've already forgotten.
God damn it.
Anything else?
No, that's really about it.
Alright.
Yeah?
So I have quite a lot to say.
Alright, go for it.
So, Abbott Elementary.
Okay.
It ended this week.
Okay.
Great show.
What's that about? Abbott Elementary. Yeah.
Teachers in a public school.
Oh.
And their struggles with, being underfunded, underpaid.
Yeah.
It's centered around this lady. Her name is Janine.
Okay.
I don't want to say new. She's just been on the job 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
As compared to her colleagues, which have been there 10, 15, 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And so she's learning a lot from them, and there's a potential love story with a new teacher who showed up.
Okay.
It's just a great show. Okay. Season 2 ended this week, so let's see how it goes.
Cool.
I think it was picked up for another season, but
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed.
That's good. Cool.
Next, the season premiere of Barry.
Ooh.
Was last week.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
No.
So do you know Bill Hader?
Yes.
Who is he?
I don't know, but we've mentioned him before.
I have all these times where I'm like, so you know this person? You're like, yeah. I'm like, well, who is he? You're like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I wasn't prepared for follow-up questions.
Most of the time, I know the name.
Alright, so he was on SNL.
Okay.
And also, we were mentioning Ben Schwartz?
Yes.
So Ben Schwartz and Bill Hader both do the voice for BB-8.
Oh.
You don't know who that is?
I know who BB-8 is.
Alright, BB-8 is from Star Wars.
Oh my goodness.
Which my co-host has never seen, and yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
cool.
But this is the thing. I think from season 2, he's been directing the episodes.
Oh wow. Okay.
And he seems to be one of the most exciting young directors. Well, I think he's in his 40s or 50s, but whatever. But I'm saying new directors. That's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Barry season 3, the cinematography was outstanding. Some of the best shit on TV we're seeing right now.
Okay.
So yeah, season 4. So I think this is the last season.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but yeah, season 4 of Barry. I'd really love to see this guy do a movie.
Okay.
Come to the big leagues.
Yeah.
No, he's a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
What if he was a small fish in a big pond?
What if he was a big fish in a big pond?
What if... Stop! Alright. We getting distracted. We need to, be focused here, right? Everyone keeps saying it's too long. We need to,
okay.
in and out.
Okay.
Clear, concise points.
Okay.
All right.
Next point. Let's go.
I watched Demolition Man. Do you know what that is?
Nope.
It's like a critique of liberalism in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's like a movie where Stallone.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. There's a guy played by what's his name? He was Blade.
I have no idea.
He was Blade.
I have no idea.
Wesley Snipes.
Oh.
Wesley Snipes plays the villain. I think his name is Simon Phoenix.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's always saying Simon says, and then yeah. But anyway,
Okay.
so he's just like, I guess, like a warlord.
Oh, nice.
He's taken over a district in South Los Angeles.
Okay.
Right. Just yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like fire and brimstone,
Okay.
but then they send in one man.
Oh, wow.
I forget his name.
Wow.
His name is John Spartan.
Okay.
Very weird name. John Spartan, played by Sylvester Stallone, the Demolition Man.
Right. Okay.
He's criticized because even though he gets his man, he might blow up the building
Okay.
to do it, right?
Yeah.
So,
The demolition.
yes,
Okay. Yeah.
people will say that he, he's too violent and the property damage isn't worth getting the bad guy.
It's like the whole plot of that one Avengers movie.
Well, I think those guys are fucking pussies, yeah, sorry that he got the bad guy, sorry that good guys did good,
Sorry that
Yeah.
good guys killed people too.
So anyway, he gets, what's his name, Simon Phoenix says that they were hostages and he blew up the building knowing there were hostages inside
Yeah.
to get him.
Right.
But those people are already dead, right? So he frames
Okay.
John Spartan,
Oh,
right?
nice.
And they both get put in like cryo sleep.
Okay.
And somehow Simon Phoenix escapes in the future.
Okay.
But the future he escapes in isn't the, like the place
the
that
world
he,
that he was
the
in,
world
yeah.
that he was in, right?
Yeah.
It's become this pussified place where nobody does any violence. The police don't know how to handle someone like this, right?
Ah.
So they have to unfreeze the Demolition Man,
So
right?
that he can demolish.
Right.
Right.
And again, the idea is that this is the future that liberals wanted. They were like, so they don't have sex. They have like this helmet that they put on where they like,
Like connect minds.
yes, where they connect minds.
Right, okay.
And that's it, right? You're not allowed to have burgers, I don't think,
What?
or like meat. I think it's only veg. It's stuff like that where it's like, the future's become pussified, and now only Stallone can save us. It's kind of hilarious, bro. It's anyway. The next thing I watched was a movie called Dinosaur.
Okay.
Something I watched when I was a child.
Yeah.
We were speaking about this in the Mario commentary, right?
Yes.
We said, children have lots of. There's
Yeah.
certain like child interests.
Yeah.
Like sharks.
Yes.
Children get obsessed with sharks.
Yeah.
Or like dinosaurs. Children get obsessed with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Or like Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Children get obsessed with the Greek mythology, right?
Yes.
So anyway, when I was a child, I had this I was going to say DVD, a VHS.
VHS.
Of a movie called Dinosaur. It came
Okay.
out in 2000.
Okay.
And I assume, it's trying to capitalize off like, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
What-
dinosaur fame of Jurassic
yeah,
Park.
the dinosaur craze
Yeah.
of Jurassic Park,
Right.
right? And I just remember this movie, and so in the Mario 1993 movie,
Yeah.
like the world split into two.
Yes.
One where there were dinosaurs, one where there were humans, right?
Yes.
So that reminded me of dinosaurs, which made me want to watch this. So I watched this on, after we finished recording last week, I watched Dinosaur directly after.
Nice. Okay. And?
That's fine. It's like 7.
Okay.
It's not spectacular. It's not bad. It's
just there.
just like as a child, I loved it because I'm like, oh my god, it's dinosaurs. But now I'm like, oh, it's whatever. Maybe even a 6.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. I haven't rated it yet.
Okay.
I'm just still stewing.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Mandalorian.
Mando.
You have no idea who that is.
Oh my goodness.
Listeners, he's never watched Star Wars. He's anyway, so there's a Mandalorian, and the season 3 ended this week.
Yeah.
Pretty good ending. I don't know how I feel about the season.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like a cohesive season. It feels like moments.
Okay.
They were just like, all right, we want to have this cool moment. How can we get there?
Yeah.
And then they work backwards instead of like writing a story
and having
like
a nice
from the ground up and like
yeah.
earning those moments. They figured out the moment and work backwards.
Yeah.
So although I felt the moments were cool, I don't think they were earned.
Yeah.
So I'm still thinking about how I feel about The Mandalorian.
Okay.
The season, I mean.
Yeah,
season 3.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that's it.
That's it? Okay.
So, let me just click back. Thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, give a like, etc. All the things. Yeah. And importantly, it needs to be a 5-star review.
Has to be 5-star.
Yes. I'm trying to think of what can I do. Yeah, I'll cut your tires. I'll just
damn. Okay.
I'll put a hole in it. You'll be driving down and your car breaks down. You're like, what the hell? How did this happen? You didn't give a 5-star review. You gave a 4.5.
We've gone from rearranging CDs to slashing tires.
I mean, it's not a big deal. Slashing tires.
Yeah.
You get a new tire.
Exactly. Do you know how expensive tires are?
Alright, fine. I won't slash tires. What do you suggest?
I suggest changing 2 songs in their Spotify playlist to something that they don't like.
No.
Okay.
How about we take honey?
Okay.
We put honey on your doormat. And suddenly there's a lot of insects. You're like, oh my god, why is there so much insects? Right? That's what a 4.5-star review will get you. You know, proceed at your peril.
4.5 and below.
4.5 and below. 5 stars only. Right? Please subscribe on Patreon to listen to our movie commentaries.
Yeah.
Please tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell a friend.
Make new friends. And tell them to tell their friends.
This is something I haven't been mentioning in the past couple of weeks, right?
Okay.
I forgot about the main lesson of the Fast and Furious movies. Family. Tell a family member to listen to the pod.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else?
Well, the website.
The website.
We've got a website where you can find all our socials. That's paicip-pod.github.io/site. SITE. And yeah.
So yeah.
That's about it.
Well, you said our socials. It's not just the socials, it's the DSPs.
Oh yeah.
So like if you listen to Spotify, there'll be a Spotify link. If you listen to Apple Podcasts, there'll be an Apple link. You know, whatever, what your preferred digital service provider is.
Alright. All of them things.
Yes. PAICIP, PAICIP-pod, pod.github.io/site, SITE.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
you didn't spell it. You only spelled site.
Yeah.
You didn't spell PAICIP. How am I supposed to know what PAICIP?
Well, it's on wherever.
What if I spell it PAY space SIP? PAICIP. I PAICIP.
If you're listening to this, then you're on one of our things already, and that's all the PAICIP.
But what if again? So I'm a friend of one of the listeners, and they're telling me. And they played the short segment. And I just hear PAICIP.
I see.
And I go home and I type in PAICIP into my Google browser. And there's like a weird porn fetish where people are sipping on like I don't know.
On their pay for the week.
On like milk or something. No, like,
Okay.
There's like a woman sipping milk. And people are paying for
jeez
to watch that.
Oh my goodness.
That's what you'll find. Listeners, he was gonna send you down that rabbit hole. I'm the one. I reached in, I grabbed you. I was like, no, listeners. Let me save you from that.
Now who's the good and bad cops?
Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Au revoir.
Goodbye.